Welcome everyone to another learning session. Today, we are going to learn about YAML. YAML used to be called as yet another markup language. And now the official website for YAML calls it as YAML ain't a markup language. It is definitely a very popular language today and can be used with many different tools and programming languages such as Kubernetes, Azure Pipelines, GitHub Actions, and even programming languages such as Spring Boot, and a lot of other products, tools, and programming languages use YAML. We will learn the syntax for YAML. We will see how to represent the various data structures such as key value pairs, lists or arrays, maps or dictionaries. We will also see how we can have nested representations with lists, maps, and all. We will also see how we can work with YAML using Visual Studio Code, which is a free editor, and the YAML extension in Visual Studio Code. We will see some examples, one from Kubernetes and one from Azure Pipelines, on how YAML is used in real world. Finally, we have some very good questions to check your understanding of the YAML concepts and the YAML syntax. If you are watching this session as a recording, then please pause after each of those questions, try to answer it by yourself, and then go and watch the answer. YAML 101. YAML is a language that is commonly used for configuration files and in applications where data is being stored or transmitted. Initially, YAML was generally expanded as yet another markup language, but now the official website yaml.org expanded it as YAML ain't markup language. Whatever be the case, the syntax is not going to change, and we are going to use YAML for tools such as Kubernetes, GitHub Actions, Azure Pipelines, Spring Boot, and a lot more programming languages and tools. YAML.org website defines YAML as YAML is a human-friendly data serialization language for all programming languages. Before YAML, JSON was the preferred language for configurations, and before JSON, it was XML. This is a quick comparison of the syntaxes of XML, JSON, and YAML. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language and is the oldest and is most verbose. The name literal is mentioned 2 times. And when it comes to JSON, it is only mentioned once. But you have some extra curly braces, double quotes, etc. This is because JSON stands for JavaScript object notation and follows a JavaScript-based syntax. And then we have YAML. YAML stands for YAML ain't markup language and is less verbose than both XML and JSON, as you can see here. You can validate your XML, JSON, and YAML syntaxes using online validators. You can just search in Google and find a lot of online validators, or you can use an IDE like Visual Studio Code, which is also free. And most of the other IDEs like IntelliJ or the regular Visual Studio all has YAML support today. So first, let us see how we can represent a key value pair in YAML. It is very straightforward. You have name, colon, value. So here the first element is name and its value is Hartin. Second is title and its value is principal architect. So now let us see how to represent lists or arrays in YAML. So as you can see here, you have a hyphen, space, and then the name. So we have Hartin, Sneha, Batman, Catwoman as a list here. And lists in YAML are ordered. That means if you have Hartin, Sneha, Batman, Catwoman, and you have Hartin, Batman, Sneha, and Catwoman, they are not the same because the ordering is different. Now let us see how we can represent maps or dictionaries in YAML. You mention the map or dictionary name, then put a colon, and in the next line, you put spaces or tabs, and then you write the keys. So here, name is a key, title is a key, and in a map or dictionary, you cannot have duplicate keys. So here, if I add one more name, the parser will say that, okay, this is not going to work. It is not a valid YAML. So let us see some nested representations of maps and lists. So here we can see a list of maps. The elements of employees are mentioned with this hyphen. Employees is a list with two elements, Hartin and Sneha, and both Hartin and Sneha are maps by themselves. So let us see another nested representation. Here we have maps in a map. Employees is a map. And inside the employees map, we have two other maps, Hartin map and Sneha map. Here, Hartin and Sneha are the keys or properties of the employees map. Please note that even though this will work, it would be more appropriate to use a list here as we have multiple items of the same type of object. Please note that lists in YAML are ordered, but maps or dictionaries are not ordered. Here, if you have another map, employees, with Sneha coming first and Hartin coming second, this one and the other employees map both are same or equal. Unlike a list, here ordering does not matter. Let us see another nested representation. List in map. Hartin is a map. Sneha is another map. And inside that we have title, sex, and certifications as the keys of the Hartin and Sneha maps. And certifications is a list with two elements, AZ104 and AZ400 for Hartin, and AZ204 and AZ400 for Sneha. So you can mix and match lists and maps and all, but make sure the indentation is correct. For example, if you consider the first 3-4 lines, so if you push sex male by a space or tab, then YAML parser will think that, okay, sex male is a child of a title principal architect. And as you know, you cannot have a child for a regular key value pair. Children can be only possible for either a map or a list. Comments. Any line starting with a hash is considered as a comment. Working with YAML using VS Code. We can use VS Code along with the YAML extension, example YAML extension from Red Hat for working with YAML. We can also specify to associate our YAML files with schemas such as Kubernetes to get additional support while creating such YAML files. Once associated with the Kubernetes schema, you can use shortcuts such as Control plus space to get auto completion suggestions. Basically, you start typing and then your IDE will provide options for completing it. So once you install Visual Studio Code, you can search for YAML and find a YAML extension. So here I am using a YAML extension that is provided by Red Hat. It has support for Kubernetes built-in. And to make use of that built-in support, all you have to do is add this line Kubernetes :start.yaml to the yaml.schemas element in the settings.json file. You can go to the extensions page, find the YAML extension. You can click on the settings icon. And once you click on the settings icon, you can find the settings section YAML:schemas. Click on edit in settings.json. And you can add Kubernetes :star.yaml as in the screenshot. One example of YAML with Kubernetes. API version v1, kind pod, metadata, name. So all these syntax highlighting is possible with the YAML extension. Kubernetes is just one of the tools that use YAML. If you see in this example 2, YAML with Azure Pipelines, you can see we have created a Azure pipeline with YAML. So these are just 2 examples. There are a lot of tools that use YAML today. So now let us come to the most important part, check your understanding. In case if you are watching this over a YouTube channel or some course portal, please pause this, try to answer, and then finally you go ahead and see the answer. So question 1, is the syntax correct? If syntax is not correct, give the number of the line that has the first error. The answer is yes, syntax is correct. We have a employees map here with the 2 maps inside it, Hartin map and Sneha map. Question 2, is the syntax correct or not? If not correct, give the number of the line that has the first error. The answer is yes, syntax is correct. So here Sneha is a violent child of the map object Hearten, and Sneha itself is another map. Logically, this may not make sense, but syntax wise, it follows all the syntax rules of YAML. So here Hearten is a map, and the keys or properties of the Hearten map are title, sex, and Sneha. All these three are non-duplicates. Question 3, is the syntax correct or not? If not correct, give the number of the line that has the first error. The syntax is not correct. Sneha is a child of the map object Hearten. Unlike previous example, Sneha is not a map object here. Title, sex, Sneha, and even the next title and sex all belong to the same level, and hence are the keys of the map object Hearten. Line 7 will fail as it is a duplicate key. 4, is it correct or not? And if not correct, give the number of the line that has the first error. The syntax is not correct. Here, employee subject is a map, and all the elements are just properties in that map or keys in that map. Maps cannot have duplicate keys. Hence, title in line 7 will fail as it is a duplicate key. Question number 5, is the syntax correct or not? And if not correct, give the number of the line that has a first error. Yes, the syntax is correct. Logically, this may be wrong, but syntax wise, this is correct. Here, employee subject is a map, and Hearten, title, sex, and Sneha are the properties or keys of the employee subject. Sneha is also a valid map object by itself. Question number 6, is syntax correct or not? And if not correct, give the number of the line that has a first error. The syntax is not correct. Sex male is a regular key value pair and not a map or a list, and hence it cannot have any children. Here, Sneha map is placed as a child element of the sex colon male key value pair, and hence the syntax is not correct. Question 7, is the syntax correct or not? And if not correct, give the number of the line that has the first error. Answer 7, yes, the syntax is correct. Logically, this may be wrong, but syntax wise, this is correct. So here, Sneha, title, and sex are the children of the map Hearten. The title in line 6 and sex in line 8 are children of the map employees. Question 8, which of these can be considered same or equal? In A, we have a employees list with Hearten and Sneha. B, we have a employees dictionary with Hearten and Sneha. C, again we have another employees list with Hearten and Sneha. D, we have another employees map with Hearten and Sneha. Here, A is a employees list with elements Hearten and Sneha. B is a employees dictionary or employees map with Hearten and Sneha. You cannot consider two different things as same or equal, right? You cannot compare apples and oranges, right? So A and B cannot be same in any case. Similarly, C is a list and D is a map. So C and D cannot be same at any case. So the only thing left to compare is A and C and B and D. So if you compare A and C, both of them are lists. But in A, the order is Hearten followed by Sneha. And in C, the order is Sneha followed by Hearten. For lists, ordering is important. So Hearten followed by Sneha and Sneha followed by Hearten are not the same. So A and C are not equal or same. Look into B and D. Here B has elements Hartin and Sneha. Hartin comes before Sneha, and in D, Sneha comes before Hartin. But in a map or dictionary, the ordering does not matter. So B and D are same or equal here. Okay, I will explain again. So here A and C are lists. B and D are maps. A list cannot be equal to a map. If you consider most of the programming languages, if you check for whether a list is equal to a map, it will return false. We cannot compare A with B or A with D. So we can only compare A with C and B with D. We cannot compare apples with oranges, right? So we have to compare apples with apples and oranges with oranges. Hartin comes before Sneha in the employees list A, and Sneha comes before Hartin in the employees list C. So if you represent this in most of the programming languages like Java or .NET, for list A or array A, array index 0 will be Hartin and array index 1 will be Sneha. And for the employees list C, array index 0 will be Sneha and array index 1 will be Hartin. So arrays are generally compared by comparing the indexes. So when you compare index 0 of employees list A with index 0 of employees list C, it is not equal or same. And when it comes to map, ordering is not important. When you implement maps in most of the programming languages, ordering does not matter. A very common map implementation in many programming languages is called as a hash map. Even if this Hartin, Sneha and all are represented by arrays, the hash map or the hashing function will not go through one by one from array index 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Instead, it will pass Hartin to a hash function, and that hash function will return the exact location of Hartin. So here, ordering does not matter. Similarly, Sneha, when you ask for the details of Sneha, it will pass through that hash function, and you will get exactly the location of Sneha. Here, the employees map B and the employees map D both has same keys with the same values. So both of them are equal. So answer rate is B and D. Here A and C are lists, B and D are maps. Lists are ordered. So two lists with the same elements in a different order are not the same. Keys in a map are not ordered. So B and D are same. So as an assignment, experiment with all of these representations that we discussed today in an online validator tool, codebeautify.org or any other online validator tool. Second, install Visual Studio and then install and configure the YAML plugin for working with Kubernetes. That is all for today. I believe I have explained things well. In case if you have any more doubts, please feel free to ask in our study group and I would be more than happy to help you out. Or there would be a lot of other people who are always willing to help. Let us all learn together and grow together. Bye bye for now and see you all in next class.